Welcome to Always Analog, where we celebrate the beauty of analog technology in the digital world. Today we're going to look at a pencil. I'm a little reluctant to call it a vintage pencil, although it's not new. And I don't believe, I'm almost certain that these are no longer produced. So they are a previous model and they are no longer available new. So maybe they are sort of vintage. I sort of think of them that way. And I really don't do, or haven't done, I should say, vintage pencil reviews here because frankly, I don't have a lot of vintage pencils other than some that I found a while ago that belonged to my dad. I just don't, but I do have a friend named Joseph who is a pencil collector, and he sent me a whole bunch of pencils, many of which are vintage, some much older than these. So I think what I'm going to do is start to feature periodically some vintage pencils now that I have a number of them, thanks to Joseph. So thank you, Joseph. Really appreciate you sending me these pencils to share with everybody and take a closer look at. So what we have here is the Prospector pencil by Palomino, and these were manufactured, probably 5 years ago or more. Not sure when production ended. If any of you know, please share with me. But I know they were available like in the late teens, 2016, 2017, around there. So I don't know when they stopped making them. But they came in two colors. They came in a natural, which is what Joseph sent me here, or they were also available in kind of a bright green. So we're going to look at this pack here, and this is a full dozen. And Prospector, very plain looking box, black and white. And I think they were just sort of going for a very simple look. These were relatively inexpensive pencils when they were produced by Palomino. And so here on the front of the box, we'll take a closer look here. Let me try to focus a little bit. You've got the window, the cutaway, 12 number 2 HB pencils, Prospector. They have a little Prospector logo there. Looks like he's digging for gold. And the Palomino logo at the bottom with the galloping horse. On either side of the box is the Palomino logo again, and then the Prospector word mark there. And on the back we have the same. We have Prospector, Palomino, Stockton, California. Pencils.com is the website address where these were sold. Made in USA, okay? So there's an important note there that these were made in USA. They have the PMA certification at the bottom. So I'm going to open them. I'm going to open this box from down here. So let me, so that we can kind of take a look. So there they are. Now, I will say that they, at least from my eye, they all look to be fairly well centered, those cores, don't they? And we'll take them out of the box, and there we go. Let's come down a little bit and get a little closer look at these. These do not look to be cedar. When you put this up against, say, a Tennessee red or something like that, you can see the difference. I think this is just a base wood here, but I will say, still you have some variations in the wood grain, variations in the color. It looks as though these have a very light lacquer finish, so they're not totally natural in the sense that it's just raw wood. I'm not sure if the camera, it might not quite show up. I think the camera's showing it. This is a gold foil imprint here. So you've got USA, the Palomino logo here with the horse, Prospector, and then number 2 in gold foil. You have a kind of a muted gold ferrule and a white eraser. That's the pencil right there. It is, of course, you saw this when we looked at the top. This is a hexagonal pencil, and I don't think I'm mistaken. If somebody knows otherwise, please share. From the sharp feel of the hex cut here, this feels to me like a Musgrave manufactured pencil. I would be willing to bet. Just feels like a Musgrave to me, and I know that they have made pencils for Palomino, so I'm guessing that's what these are. So that's the pencil. Again, if you like a natural pencil, you might like this. Unless you want a kind of a raw natural, this is not that, because it does have a very thin lacquer coat on it. So you won't kind of get the patina that often occurs in a raw natural pencil from handling over time. This has a little bit of a protection with the lacquer coat. But I'm going to get one of these sharpened up and we will try it out. So I've sharpened one of the Palomino Prospectors up here, sharpened very nicely. And but the sharpening also, I can tell, when you get a closer look at the wood, and certainly it doesn't have that wonderful aroma that we normally would get from a cedar pencil. So again, I know it's not cedar, but it's not a bad looking natural pencil anyway. So let's try doing some writing with this. So this is, okay. Well, at first glance and at first feel, it's a nice writing pencil. Fairly smooth. It's got a little feedback. You can probably hear it. It has a, it's a good, hefty number 2. That is to say that it has a fairly dark, bold line. Yeah. Again, those corners really screams Musgrave to me. Let's put a little bit of it down. It, you know, it's not as soft and silky as, say, some of the other Palomino pencils. Again, these were fairly inexpensive pencils. I think they sold for around $2 or maybe a little bit more for a dozen. So Palomino was not getting a lot of money for these, and so I think for the price, they were probably a pretty decent value originally, and they write nicely. Again, they're not like some of the other Palominos that we've tried, but yeah, it's a decent pencil so far. Let's get a little closer look at the erasability. We're gonna start with this attached eraser. Now these these pencils are not new. They've been kicking around for, I'm not sure, maybe Joseph will tell me. I don't know when he got these. I know they haven't been available for many years, so these pencils could be, you know, 5, 7, 9 years old. I'm not sure how long the run was for these. This pencil eraser is hard and it does a really crummy job. It may have been a better eraser originally, but it's obviously been dried out with age. So I can't really hold it against it because it's just an old eraser. But we'll try some of our other standard erasers and see how they do. So here is a Pentel, which my protective cover is coming off. Don't know if it matters really, but let's try a magic rub. See how that does. Pretty good. We'll try a foam here. Nice. A pink carnation in this case. Okay. Do a nataraj. Mars. That does a nice job. Art gum. Pretty good. What else? Milan. Synthetic rubber here. Okay. Well, attached eraser notwithstanding, and we're not even gonna. I can't fairly grade that, but I think on an erasability scale overall, I've got to give it a B+. It does a fairly good job with being erasable. A little shadowing, but not bad. Let's take a look here at the point. I think I might even freshen that point up just a little bit. Okay, and let's just try some more writing. It's a nice writer. It has just a general everyday pencil. It's not going to give you any kind of you know, a transformative writing experience, but this is a nice overall pencil. I like it. I'm trying to think, like, it's not quite a Golden Bear. I'm trying to think of another sort of Palomino that might be, you know, on the lower end in terms of price range. I would put the Golden Bear maybe a slight notch above this, but it is a nice, very nice overall writing instrument. And like I said, it gives you a little bit of feedback on this paper. This is a new pad, and it's a little bit of an odd size. I mean, it's a kind of an A4. I bought this pad in Europe, so it's not I normally use a letter size 8.5 by 11, but this one's a little different, so I'm trying to get used to the space. It's a little longer but a little narrower, but the paper, it's a nice paper, and this pencil does a nice job. Well, there it is. I'm going to thank Joseph one more time for the box of these Palomino Prospectors. Not available, probably available on the secondary market since they're no longer being manufactured. A good overall writer. A nice addition to anybody who collects American pencils, Palomino especially. I think you would enjoy using this if you don't have them in your collection. And overall, I liked it very much. It has a good dark line, and I think it has a really nice 2HB consistency in the core that gives you just enough to put down a mark that, you know, says something that you were on the paper. And it's smooth enough to really enjoy and write for a long time. So thank you for joining me for this look at the Palomino Prospector. If you like what I do here, please share, like, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again real soon here on Always Analog.